good morning, and welcome back to Whispers and Regate. I'm Baron Battlebred, the Game Master, and I forgot their name already.
It was, so I left it off at the last episode with timekeepers, but I totally think instead of timekeepers, we should be time breakers. That just makes so much more sense.
Indeed.
Everyone agrees with this? Time breakers?
This
Time breakers.
I don't have much of it in here.
When we last left the Time Breakers, they had gone to Thaddeus's house, watched him die, and or not die. Took a long rest. Thaddeus had woken up to a creepy whisper in his ear, and they had gone to visit Shimmer's friend, Lady Seraphina, who's currently, probably, the person standing behind them. Hello. What are you doing at my door?
Why, hello.
I'm gonna turn around. Is it Lady Seraphina?
Roll me a perception check.
I know this woman.
I know. So roll me a perception check.
21.
He likes the dice rolls.
I'm just imagining the fucking pigeons from.
That was a very unnecessary dice roll. Either she is or she isn't.
You turn around and you see a younger half-elf woman. She's got like sparkly green eyes, and her hair is a bright white, which is unnatural, but definitely a choice. It's your friend, yet not yet friend, Lady Seraphina.
Shimmer will move to the front and curtsy like, yes. My name is Shimmer Whitmore from location that I forgot already. From the Whitmore family in Fairview. I have come to visit Regate, of course.
Oh, Fairview is, well, that's quite a distance from our, I'd say little town, but you already know it's not. It's quite a distance from our city. What are you doing at my doorstep?
Oh, I wish to meet the other nobility.
The world's going to end.
Shimmer's gonna give Gladius a very confused look, like, what are you doing? Let me talk.
What? You,
I don't know what's up with him. He's just a servant. Ignore him.
Oh, okay. You've decided to meet the nobility without sending forewarn first?
I believe I did. Did you not receive it?
No, I'm afraid I did not receive any correspondence about this visit.
Oh, my apologies. But the messenger must not have arrived. It's people these days, you know.
I don't think they have the Griffin message delivery here in this city, Your Highness.
Griffin? Oh, no. I am not Highness yet. Working on it, but I'm not there yet. And no, I'm afraid we don't use griffins here. We use people, runners, I suppose they would be, and various means of magical connections.
Griffins are all the rage on our island.
That's very interesting.
Ambassador Ikoria.
Ikoria? That's an interesting name. Anyway, if you... yes, Here, let me get the door. I'll invite you outside. Excuse my I'm being inhospitable, but come inside. I'll have someone make tea.
Indeed, thank you.
Wow, I was not expecting such a grouping of people in my house today. Please do have a seat in the foyer, and we will have people be with you in just a moment. She it was off.
When she leaves, I'm gonna smack Thaddeus upside the head.
We needed to be
Nice.
inside before you revealed the information.
That needs to be done properly. Let me speak.
I don't know. I feel like being blunt.
Hey, I just thought we should probably tell her before, she gets ripped in half.
Yes, but, I don't think she's gonna get ripped in half. Why would you think she'd get ripped in half?
I got ripped in half.
Would you
You
want
look
me to be
fine.
ripped in half in the middle of the street? Presuming
She
this
gets
is
ripped
what's
in half in
happening.
the middle of the street, and then, all of a sudden the fucking thing just goes on a murderous rampage.
Suddenly, you guys are wanted for murder.
All right, well, we'll go in. We'll have tea and everything, and then we'll let her know that the world's going to end. Well, not
After-
really, but
After about 5 minutes, she returns to sit amongst you and tells you that tea will be brought in shortly. So, quite a journey you have had from Fireview, was it?
Yes, it has been quite the journey. We arrived in the city last night,
Oh,
actually.
my.
So we've only just gotten here.
What a wonderful time, too. It's excellent timing. We're all preparing for the this year's Black Sun Festival.
Oh, is this a yearly thing? Yearly festival.
No, it's not so much a yearly festival. It only happens every... Oh my. Yeah, once or twice in a lifetime, usually. It's not very often that we get a chance to run into it. Very excited this year. We've been told we've pulled out all the stops. It's going to be big.
I certainly hope so. Though, I have to say, on our travels here, well, my servant was being exaggerative. We did encounter a divination wizard, so to
Ooh.
speak.
A divination.
And it spoke of dangers where we were headed, to here, to Reggit, during
Well,
this time. And
we are a big
well,
city. There are thieves about.
more dangerous ones.
Oh. More dangerous
So-
than thieves. Do tell.
Yes, well, it spoke of... how did he phrase this? I think he said something about a cult.
Oh.
And,
cult.
a cult and using blood sacrifice to bring Terra Regate away from our reality. Which, honestly, I know sounds ridiculous, but I tend to trust these things. You never know when these sorts of warnings could come in handy. And, well, if it's nothing, then it's nothing. But if it is something, maybe it's best for people to be on the lookout, be aware, and try to prevent it before it happens. We don't want anything to interfere with such festivities,
And you learned this from a divination wizard on your travels.
Yes, indeed.
Where did you meet this divination wizard?
It's in one of the cities we stopped on the way here. I wasn't really paying attention to this specific city. It was quite the alarming warning, so to speak.
Alarming indeed.
Elise is
Oh.
going to lean over to Shimmer and whisper, "You know this person pretty well. Perhaps you can use your knowledge of this noble to prove you have knowledge they do not."
She'll sort of giggle and press her elbow against, like shoulder against you, in sort of a flirtatious manner, so, as if you had whispered something flirtatious in her ear.
Oh, look, tea has arrived.
Yes, indeed, tea. She'll take one of the cups from the servant.
Sarah will also take a cup and then stare at it.
Elise will likewise take a cup and drink it, not like Sarah.
Okay.
Thaddeus is just going to stare, waiting for her to be ripped in half.
Wait. Full on hard staring at Lady Seraphina?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just dreading that moment again.
Thaddeus now has PTSD.
She's going to take a sip of her tea, and she's going to put it down. Her hands clasped in her lap in front of her as she stares at you, Shimmer. And she's going to be like, "So, you are coming here for the festival, and you met a divination wizard, and that wizard told you that Regate is going to be besieged by a cult who is going to use a large blood sacrifice to rip the city from reality."
It is, yes, that is my understanding of what the wizard told me.
This is quite a story.
Indeed.
Can I ask, I do suppose, are you going door to door telling all of the nobles this?
Well, I mean, I was already interacting with you, so I thought, well, since I had already planned for this visit, may as well tell you while I'm here, right?
Yes, you said that earlier. You planned for this visit. Why visit me?
Insert reason here. Shimmer would have a reason. I, as a player, do not know her well enough.
You are free to make up whatever you want.
Well, I have heard of your family, of course. My family is some connections that have heard very good things about yours and wanted to make, well, relations with yours.
I am flattered, but I am already betrothed.
Not to that way. I meant like professional.
Oh, that is a much different story. Yes. I assume this would have been in the correspondence that I did not receive?
Yes, indeed.
Unreliable, those griffins of yours, it seems.
Indeed, like... I don't know why.
Change out.
We'll have to figure out something. Usually, they get to see correspondence. Maybe monster hunters killed my messenger.
Maybe. She has not rolled very high during this whole conversation. Roll me a perception check. Not a perception check. A persuasion check. There we go. That's the word.
30.
Jesus. Fuck. Where did that come from? What do you mean a 30?
I have a plus 11 to persuasion.
Wow. My God, you do. Wow. Okay. She is going to stand up and she's going to say, well, you came here to establish relations between our two families, and you have come to me with a story that is, quite frankly, hard to believe, but I feel like we would not get off on the wrong foot by you lying to me as
Indeed.
for initial meetings. That would be, frankly,
It would be awful.
it would be. That would be terrible. We must report this to somebody else.
Indeed, we should.
We must drive this up the chain.
Yes. I do not know the city very well, or the people there. Could you help us with that?
Yes. In fact, I shall. We shall start with my betrothed, Lord Hendred.
That would be perfect.
Yes. Yes. He's currently. Well, he's probably out helping with the festival. We might find him. We'll probably find him at the castle, helping with the city planning as we prepare for this large festival and hopefully a large influx of tourists.
Tourist is always great for money.
Yes, they shall be a great boon to the city.
Indeed.
Come. We must. Agatha, bring the carriage around. We are in great. We must make haste. I don't suppose telling her that we're in grave danger would be a very useful thing to do.
I imagine that would cause panic.
Yes, panic. We don't want to cause a panic. That is not helpful in situations such as this.
Indeed.
So after a few minutes, a wagon, a carriage is brought around to the front of the property. Lady Seraphina grabs a cloak and throws it over herself, and you all pile into the wagon, the carriage, and head to the castle. It's a much faster trip with the horse in, even though you do have to take some of the more side roads to keep away from the throng of people that are clogging the main roads. It's probably mid-afternoon at this point.
Elisa's just watching all of these people that they pass with no knowledge of the fact that they are doomed. More than half of them won't make it through this couple weeks.
Everybody's filled with fucking dread.
It is. That's kind of the bittersweet beauty of this entire premise is here is a catastrophic event that took the lives of 3/4 of an entire city's population. Meanwhile, you have 3 average Joes and a robot trying to go back and change the past.
Would you say you have 3/4 of a party?
Yeah. Fuck you. I count as a person.
I'm a person, damn it!
Curse you! Voice in the sky.
Curse you!
You guys
You
make
might
it
just
to the-
say, we are breaking time. Time breakers, time breakers.
Part of me really wants you to do that in character so Lady Seraphina can stare at you like, what kind of nobility are you from?
Yeah, it's like, Lisa's just staring out the window like,
This is all in your head.
It seems that we are breaking time. Time breakers, time breakers.
Who does that in character?
Lady Seraphina is going to stare at you, what's the word here? Incredulously?
Very confused.
Yeah.
Confused.
Yeah, she's going to turn back. As you guys make your way through the shipping lanes, through the cut of the bazaar, down through the upper ward, you find yourselves at a side gate to the castle. Lady Seraphina is going to open the door and step out and go speak to a guard. You see her. It starts off like they're talking quietly. It starts off fairly normal, and then you see Lady Seraphina getting more and more animated as she's talking to this guard who remains very plain-faced and just kind of shaking his head like, why do I let you and 4 strangers in here? You may be able to come in here, but I don't know them. And so she's pointing at you guys and pointing at the wagon and pointing back at the guard and kind of wiggling her finger at him. Let me see. And she convinces him to open the gate for you guys. Hey, she does. After maybe 3 or 4 minutes of attempting to persuade this guard, she finally comes back into the wagon. She comes back into the carriage and says, "Whew, must be new at his post. What a stickler for the rules, huh?" Anyway.
Yes, that type.
Rules are very important.
Yeah,
We
rules
should
are...
definitely never break them. Casually looks at Thaddeus.
But it won't be but a moment. He will open the doors, and we shall head inside, and we shall talk to Lord Handred. I'm very excited. Haven't seen him all day.
Yes, I am very excited for you, being able to be with him, even under the circumstances.
Thank you. He does hate it when I bother him while he's working.
Yeah.
So you guys manage. The carriage gets parked in front of the door. You guys enter. You get out. You're stopped briefly at the door. Lady Serafina vouches for your authenticity and says that you must meet Lord Handred immediately. It is a matter of utmost importance. And the guards have you guys waiting in the entry hall. Lady Serafina walks along with them. You guys have to stay here and wait under watch by the remaining guard until Lady Serafina and Lord Handred reappear. Lord Handred is a surprisingly large human. He is a hulking and broad-shouldered individual, dressed in. He has a chest plate on. He's got like one of those cloaks on. Like it's one of those half cloaks, I guess it is, the fancy red ones. And he looks way older than Lady Serafina does. As a human with a half-elf, the differences are crazy. His brow is creased into a permanent scowl. The eyes are narrowed above his... he's staring at you guys hard as he comes towards you. And his beard is streaked with gray. He's very shocked as she's standing there, as they're walking along, she's talking to him, and he just looks more and more shocked at the story that she's telling as he reaches you guys.
What was his name again?
Lord Handred. Lord Handred Corvitash.
Lord Handridge. It is nice to meet you, though sadly not for the reasons. It is not for the reason that I would have liked to have hoped.
Yes. These are terrible circumstances if what my beloved here is telling me is true.
Indeed. I very much worry about this warning. She has told you so what I told her, correct?
I believe she has relayed the information. You watch as he does a slight nod to the guard behind you, and I want you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
20.
16.
At least he's going to voluntarily fail this to not be seen as resisting any kind of arrest.
At 22.
Okay. Lord Handred is going to continue his conversation with you guys. He's going to say, so, I've heard from her what you have said. I would like to hear it from you as well.
He cast Zone of Truth on us, didn't he?
Well, only one of you voluntarily failed, so only one of you is going to know for sure.
I come with a warning that a cult will use a blood sacrifice to rip Regate away from the material plane.
A
That
cult,
is the
you
short
say?
version. Yes.
Do you know which cult this could be?
Do I know this cult?
Roll me a history check.
10.
17.
Unfortunately, you know it starts with a C, but you weren't very interested in the play, so you can't quite remember what they were called.
I do not know. I believe they may start with a C, but I'm not sure.
Didn't Sarah roll? I thought I
did
heard
roll.
17.
I got a 17.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
Yep.
Sarah, you would know. Yeah, you would know. You remember the play in great detail, and you would know that they were labeled as Cyricists.
Cyricists.
Sure, that is.
He's gonna turn his head towards you, Sarah, and be like, "What?"
Hello.
Hello, small one. Interesting. He's gonna turn back to. He's gonna eye you, Sarah, like odd. But he's gonna turn back towards you, Shimmer, and he's gonna be like, "So, you claim Cyricists are going to sacrifice the whole town?"
Well, maybe not the whole town, but I know that they will try something that involves lots of blood and lots of sacrifices, lots of death.
These Cyricists have already infiltrated your government. All of your high-ranking officials have been compromised by these cultists who mean to sacrifice a great deal of your populations. I am almost certain that they failed in what they were trying to do, and that is why we were in limbo.
I'm a high-ranking official.
You're just.
Are you trying to insist that I am a cultist?
No,
I have no idea if you're a cultist. You very well could be.
there are many people that there may be, may not be.
This is disturbing information. You come from out of town, directly to my home, to tell my wife, well, my soon-to-be wife, that cultists are going to destroy the city, to rip it from reality, I believe were your words. Then you come to me to tell me that our people are infiltrated by cultists. Cultists of a mad god, no less. Cyricists, you said? Cyricists would never dare show their face in this, a city protected by Helm.
Cast any divination you like.
I did. I did cast. I cast only one of you can be counted as telling the truth, which is the only reason that I'm following this story at all. Is that you who tell me that my higher-ups are infiltrated by cultists was the only one I can believe.
Cast it again. I did not know. It was instinct to resist. I will not this time.
There is no need to cast it again. If I believe that our realm, our government is being infiltrated by cultists, then the rest of your story just adds up, doesn't it? So who do we take this to? If our higher-ups are corrupt, then who can we trust?
The king? The queen? The princess?
Can we trust them?
In our time, the Princess Isabella is in charge.
Princess, queen? I thought she was queen.
Wait, Queen Isabella is in charge. But if I'm forced to tell the truth, because she is currently a princess, wouldn't I have to say princess? I'm not sure how that tracks out, but Elise would say the right thing there.
Queen is true for you, and princess is true for them, so queen, probably.
In your time?
It's complicated.
I dare say that whatever you four are dealing with might be better explained to somebody slightly higher ranked than myself. And while I can't say they may or may not be a cultist, I do believe that our best chance is to go to the higher up that I trust. In Prince Veneer. Fuck, I can't pronounce his name. Vernor, Vernor.
Hey, Vernor is wearing veneers.
Anyway, probably our only chance then, isn't it? Let's go talk to the prince. He's going to point to the two guards and he's going to say, you follow me, and you find somebody to cover his post. And you guys are going to start walking through the castle. Flanked on either side by a guard. Lady Seraphina is hanging off of Lord Handred's arm, and he is leading you through these hallways. Surprisingly large hallways. Like, you saw the castle from the outside. It feels like these hallways kind of fill the space. You're shocked that there's enough room for, rooms as you pass doorway after doorway.
Never's been here before with the during the plane shift party, but still.
He leads you through the castle to a room where he knocks on the door. And a kind of a strange voice answers. He knocks on the door and he says, Prince Vernor, Lord Handred here. I come with troubling news. The voice behind him goes, okay. You might come in. He opens the door, you enter the door, and you see a man standing in front of a very large window in fur-trimmed velvet robes and glittering jeweled rings on every finger. As he turns to face you, you see his mustache perfectly sculpted into thin points coming off either side of his face, shiny and oiled. And in his hands, he carries an ornate walking stick capped by a large ruby as the handle. As he
fucking character.
As he turns to stare at you all, and he says, Lord Handred, what have you brought to me? Who are
Shimmer
these
will
people?
curtsy.
Shimmer will what?
Shimmer will curtsy.
He is, he's going to kind of eye the group, and he'll give a short nod towards you, Shimmer, as the only one to greet him respectfully. And you watch as he kind of glares at the other three.
I'm a robot. I don't know what he's expecting.
Elise will follow Shimmer's lead and curtsy as well.
His glare softens a little bit, and he nods again.
Thaddeus just stands there.
So does Sarah.
So, you have brought these people to my chambers, and you come with grave news. What could be so important that you bring strangers to my room?
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Lord Handred is going to gesture to you all, and he's going to say, I think it would be best if you heard it from them.
Are they gonna cast Zone of Truth on us again?
Nope. Prince Vernor is going to sit in a very fancy-looking armchair by the window, and he's going to gesture to you while crossing one leg over the other, and he's going to be like, okay, regale me. Tell me, what is this terrible news?
I'm gonna repeat everything about the cult and the blood sacrifice and them infiltrating the higher up people and everything. Everything that was said before, I just rehash it
Okay.
to this guy. I'm not saying it again.
Who would like to roll me an insight check?
I can.
I will.
I have a +5.
Yeah, but you're the one talking.
I rolled a 7.
Okay.
I'm at 14.
Okay.
My passive insight is 16, by the way. If that helps.
You guys, as Shimmer tells the tale of coming to Regate, the cultists, the infiltration, the sacrifice that rips the city from reality. Prince Vernor is really hard to read. Like, you don't detect the slightest change in his face as these accusations are being brought up. Like, he doesn't seem surprised by the idea of cultists having infiltrated the government. He's like nothing. When Shimmer is done talking, he sets his stick down on the side of the chair and kind of steeples his fingers in front of you and kind of taps them against each other as he stares
That
at you.
isn't an evil
contemplating.
That is totally not evil, man.
It's totally not evil.
His fingers are tapping against each other as he contemplates on what you just said. And finally he
Yeah, this guy's
goes,
giving me bad vibes.
and
The second the mustache came up.
The second the mustache came up.
it's a very pointy mustache, by the way. It's about 8 inches long on either side.
Oh god, he looks like fucking Waluigi, doesn't he?
If Waluigi was wearing fur-trimmed velvet robes and had jeweled rings on every finger.
Purple's a royal color. I can only think of Waluigi now. Thanks.
I'm thinking
This-
of Wario.
Anyway,
Prince also didn't make it, I'm pretty sure. Because, like, we would have heard of this character
Yeah.
at some point.
anyway, so he takes a few minutes to digest what you just said, and waiting for his response, he finally speaks, and he goes. He turns to Lord Handred and he says, "So, you believe this story? that we are infiltrated by cultists days before our biggest festival in years? And you think that we are going to be destroyed by Ciricists, sworn enemies of our city's protector? They have somehow infiltrated us without detection into the highest levels of our government?
Yep.
I've heard less plausible things, I suppose. And if Lord Handred believes you, then, well, he decided it was a grave enough threat to bring it to my attention. This is going to need to be investigated. This is grave news indeed. I would hate to bring this news to my father, his ancient self. It would be a shame if it pushed him over the edge a little bit. He cannot, his poor heart, he could not bear to hear news like this, his beloved city infiltrated by such evil.
Such blatant fucking.
This is why our characters, how are they not picking up on this very obviously evil vibe? This man!
No, not
It's
even
totally
that.
fine.
Not even
Yeah,
that.
it's
It's
fine.
the very blatant excuse to kill my father.
We are going to need to investigate this. Lord Handred, I need you to gather a team that you can trust. They're going to need to be tested and interviewed and divined upon to make sure that they are not cultists, and we are going to have to go through every person one by one before the festival starts. It's very important that we get a handle on this before citizens find out and it becomes a panic. That would be such a shame.
I'd recommend having 5 separate diviners, if possible, for each person, to limit the chances of one of the diviners being a cultist.
Oh, goodness. That is a good point. What if the diviners are cultists? We're going to have to... I know. We shall use some of the teachers from the academy. They are very powerful mages in their own right. I'm sure none of them would be cultists. That would be absurd. Cultists teaching our children.
That's still possible.
Who else have you told about this?
Just them.
Just
you-
us, here in this room.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. This is a good start. That means just us here in this room. If I hear about this from someone else, I know one of two things. Either someone else talked to a random diviner on the road to the city and learned grave information that was not brought immediately to the attention of the city it involved, or they're a cultist.
It's 2 very specific situations.
It's going
Not
to be one or
anything
the
else
other.
possible.
Okay, well, don't leave town. If by some means what you're saying turns out to be truth, then we will need to thank you. And if by some means what you are saying turns out to be a lie, then I would hate to have to imprison you for wasting my time.
It is always better to look into these things, even if they are false.
That is true.
But-
That is
Yeah,
true.
So, better safe than sorry, though. I trust
going-
this is
it's-
truth. This is
It's
it
going
false.
to take a few days for us to gather a team. So, when the time comes, we will find you. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Of course.
Go. Now then, I must continue staring brutally out of the window.
Brutally.
Yes, it is. This is my self-contemplation time. It's very important that I look within myself to make sure that I am doing the right thing. Such burdens on my shoulders.
I dig it.
And with that, he is going to dismiss you from his room.
Mhm.
You guys are going to be led. The remainder of the guards are going to lead you back to the entrance of the castle, and they're going to bid you good day. You have warned people. There are now people that you trust that know what is going on.
I mean, I don't fully trust this guy. But yes. There are now people who know.
We've done it.
I don't know why you wouldn't trust that guy.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, he's not alive, so.
I mean, he's also fucking Waluigi.
Wario.
Is
No,
100%.
I'm imagining Waluigi. He's too thin. I'm measuring him thin.
It doesn't help that that was the only character you asked for an insight check with.
Yeah.
Well,
The fact that we couldn't read him and that he was like stone cold the whole time also gives bad vibes.
Mm-hmm.
well, that is part of being in the royalty is not showing that things get to you.
Yeah,
and
that is
Lady
also
Seraphina, Lady Seraphina is your friend in the future, in the past. So
In the future, in the past.
insight checking her doesn't make that much sense. So you guys are standing on the steps of the castle at the moment, having just finished warning the prince. What would you like to do with the rest of your day?
I think Elise truly believes that they just, saved the day. So she's feeling relieved and
Go
free.
for a drink.
Roll me a history check.
Who?
Elise.
3 on the die for 11 total.
If you want to go for a drink, you would know that from the castle, the closest place is called the Spotless Dove.
That would still exist, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So. Oh well, actually, it's completely reasonable that a lot of the stores would go out of business. Never mind.
No. You're in the past, so all the stores are open.
Yes, but I'm
Yeah,
saying with like
in their
2/3 of the city dying or
Like,
more,
they
it's
don't
completely
exist
reasonable
anymore in our time. They don't.
the
Oh,
owners of this
that.
establishment died, and the establishment stopped.
Yeah. So the closest place to get a drink is the Spotless Dove. It is a more a hoity-toity type, hotel bar style area than anything. But if you guys are going to head out to get a drink and chill for the rest of your day, I think that this would be a good place to stop. And we will come back into the conversation of what to do next time. That'll be all for now. But when we return next episode, I'm sure the Time Breakers will continue to impress us.
Time breakers, time breakers.
You can come join the Discord. Link is in the description. And help us continue to build the city from the inside. You can leave a rating, leave a review, tell us how you really feel. Thanks for listening.